Hello, how are you folks doing? I'm your host, Jay Real, and I hope y'all had an uncommonly good 4th of July. I had a really nice one. I'll speak about that in just a moment. Uh, and tonight, we're going to talk about scary TV. And this is another one we could at least do another episode of, if not a couple of them, like with the music. We'll probably be doing another music show, and we definitely will probably do another TV show, scary TV, because there's so much to talk about. But we will dive into that after we talk about a few things. But first, let me add my sister, Kathy. There she is.
Hey,
Hey.
hello, everybody.
And how was your 4th of July?
It was really good. I didn't leave the house. April had to work, so she said, "Mom, we'd have you over, but we're not doing anything." Darren, they bought some fireworks for the kids to do when it got dark, and it's more sparklers, and they go out in the backyard and do that. But she worked till 3. I had corny dogs, potato salad, and then I bought me, you know how Walmart sells the pieces of cake? Got me vanilla cake piece with chocolate icing. And I was happier than happy can be. And I just caught up on my movie watching.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
good. Well, I had a very, very nice 4th of July. But before I discuss that, joining us is an eye for horror.
Yay!
And we haven't seen him since we was on his own show a few days ago. And
Hey, Jake.
here's Jake.
Hey, Kathy. Hey, Jay. How's it going?
Good.
Going good. We had a storm that was heading our way, but then it kind of took a southerly track and hit Groesbeck, and I think it's going to pass us by.
Good.
Heard some thunder, some rolling thunder. Winds gusted up a little bit, but I don't think we got a drop of rain. But there's a chance of rain every day, pretty much for the next 7 or 8 days. But it's cold fronts coming, and knock the temperatures down. 5-10 degrees. It's supposed to be from 110 degrees to 95 degrees or whatever.
Big difference.
You'll be able to tell if the humidity's coming down, that kind of stuff. But what we're really watching is Tuesday and Wednesday, because Hurricane Beryl is supposed to make a bullseye for Central Texas, or the remnants of Hurricane Beryl. It's going to be a tropical depression by then. But they're talking for us 3 to 5 inches of rain. And it's going to depend on kind of the track it takes, or whether, we're going to get them kind of high winds and that kind of stuff. But we're supposed to get quite a bit of rain, They say 3 to 5 inches Tuesday and Wednesday because of Beryl, but they're watching it. It could take more of a southerly track when it hits the Texas around Houston and such, but they're saying it's more likely it's just going to make a bullseye just right up towards us. So that's what we're doing, watching Tuesday and Wednesday, because there's a chance of rain every day up until then and a few days after that. But Tuesday and Wednesday's the bullseye day.
Yeah, they're expecting it to be like Hurricane 1, whatever they call, however they say that, 1 or 2. But we are a few hundred miles from the coast where I live, and Jay's kind of in the central part of Texas. I'm a little farther south than him, but he's in the central area of Texas. So rain's all we can get from the hurricanes. I'm kind of glad we don't get those high winds and stuff. But
Well, that's the thing, even though it's not going, they say it would still be a hurricane when it hits South Texas, but when it starts heading up our way, it's just going to be what they call a tropical depression or that kind of thing.
well, they also never know when little tornadoes are going to spin off those
Yeah, they're talking about
hurricanes.
these little spin-off tornadoes.
Yeah.
They say they're small, they're not very strong, and they're real quick. They spin and then
Yeah.
you know. Well,
They,
hell,
uh,
it's still a fucking tornado. And they talk like, oh, it's no big deal. They just spin up tornadoes. Cute. And like it's almost like it's cute. It's cute little spin up
it's
tornadoes.
still tornado.
And no,
Uh,
don't worry about it. If you see one, go out and play in the spin up tornado,
yeah, no.
It's
Hey,
cute.
Jake, did you get good food yesterday?
Um, yeah, my mom and I had a BK, and then I made a lasagna. So yeah.
Oh
Ooh.
my gosh. Listen, I would be your best friend in the world for a big old slab of lasagna. I would,
What did you do, Jake? Did you watch any fireworks?
No, I'm not too big on fireworks anymore like I used to. But I watched. I know what you did that summer. So,
oh
and,
yeah.
and Return of the Living Dead. Great. So
There
yeah.
you go.
Well, those are two good choices. You watched. I know what you did last summer. This summer.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we could visit Camp Sleepaway. That was during the summer. Come on now.
Yeah, well, that's what went on Jake's show. That was the
Yeah.
subject. And man, you hung in there, Kathy. After 4 hours, I had to check out.
Well, I mean,
But
it's more, what, 30 minutes, I think, Jake, and then we was all winding down anyway. I mean, it was about done,
Oh yeah.
but it was fun.
that was fun, and that was a good one. And I'm meeting the what's the name of the show?
Man in the cave,
Yeah,
guys.
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Meet us in the man cave. Yeah.
in the man
Mhm.
cave. Yeah. And those guys are really cool. I'd like to do something with them again. They're really cool. Um, maybe have one or two of those guys on this show. Um,
Oh,
but my 4th of July was really cool. I was down at my friends at the campgrounds, Melissa and Tim. And first, me and Melissa went to Walmart, but we stopped by. There's a fireworks stand uh, just up the road here, right before you turn off to go to town. And I bought some uh, Roman candles, 4 Roman candles, and then Marissa bought 2, and they look like swords. They actually look like swords. And you light the end of them, and they spew sparkles and sparkles and stuff. And Jake, you can't be too old for fireworks, man. Come
yeah.
on. I hope if I live to be 110, I'm still watching fireworks. But anyway, so we did the Walmart thing, and then every year down at the old marina location, they have a boat parade, a 4th of July boat parade, where boats decorate themselves full of flags and different accoutrements, and they ride around and people watch them. Well, Marissa's got this kayak, a blue kayak, and she wanted to decorate it. Wanted me to do it. Wanted me to go and paddle down to the boat parade, but she wanted to decorate this kayak. And I thought I had some like Christmas time. What do you call them things that you wrap around a tree? What do you call it? Garland. But I couldn't find it. But I had a bunch of balls. They're shiny, sparkly, glittery balls that you hang on trees. Because when they're discounting the Christmas stuff, I would buy the cheap Christmas stuff. I don't know why, but so I had just boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff. So I said, she goes, well, I'm going to use a hot glue gun and I'm going to glue the balls to the kayak. So anyway, she just adorned this kayak. She did all the work, gluing the balls on there, and she had 5 or 6 little flags that she put on around the. She hadn't really decorated this kayak. And it come time for the boat parade, and I got in the kayak and I paddled down to where the boat parade's supposed to be, there was a couple of great big boats. What did you call it?
Pontoons.
And they had flags, and they were playing, you know, music, and they were really decorated. And there was a couple of little kayaks that had a couple of flags and stuff. You know, there was a bunch of people on jet skis. That lake was full of jet skiers yesterday. Uh, Little kids out there swimming, jumping off that pier and swimming. But I never saw anyone that came and said, okay, the boat parade has begun or anything like that. Never saw anybody. Not a living soul that come and said anything to us. There was, according to the post they made on their Facebook site, there was going to be a first, second, and third prize and that kind of stuff. Never saw anybody. Not a single soul.
When you and I went, there was people there. I mean, they had a microphone thing out there. They're sitting on the pier.
This was a pretty sad turnout. There's a few people, like say, I hollered at them, and they go say, well, is it, they was hollering at me, has this parade started? I said, I don't know. You know.
You know what I know, yeah.
But anyway, so I paddled around and, went up and down and followed the pontoons and stuff. And so I made a showing,
Yeah.
There were some people out there, swimming and such. So there were some people that did see me paddling around. So I went back to Marissa and Tim's. But the really cool part that evening, because I had the fireworks, and what my plan was paddle out into the middle of the lake, and I was going to shoot off the Roman candles and then light those sword things and show off, So it got dark, and I paddled out to the middle of the lake, and I set off the fireworks, and they were hollering on shore. They were, hey, Jay, watching the fireworks. And then on both sides of the lake, they started shooting off fireworks. Really, you can tell they spent some money because, really nice fireworks, and it went on for a good 45 minutes, on both sides of the lake. And I was sitting there in the middle of Lake Mahia in the dark in this kayak and just watch all these fireworks go on around me. And it was just the coolest thing in the world. Something I had never experienced before, just sitting there in this kayak and just watching all these fireworks go off, and something that I'll always remember. That was an experience, because I certainly have watched fireworks displays before, but never sitting in the middle of the lake, in a kayak canoe thing. And that was really cool. So Marissa and Tim, if you're watching this, thank you so much for that experience. That was just the neatest thing in the world. And I tried to make a showing at the boat parade to give y'all something to brag about. But it was pretty sad. The boat parade was pretty sad.
Well, it was a fun enough showing. There's just nobody there to judge it.
But it was a very nice day. It ended very nicely with the sitting out there in the lake and all the fireworks going off. That was really cool. It was like something out of a movie or something. It was this.
Did you eat anything?
Yeah, they made spaghetti with like meatballs and stuff. I ate a bowl of spaghetti.
That's good. Yeah.
And
I like food.
But yeah. But it was a very nice 4th of July. And it'd been so many years I didn't have anyone to spend 4th of July with. I was just out there, the neighbors across the road here would always shoot off fireworks, and I'd go out and watch the fireworks, but didn't have anyone really to hang with.
Well, now you got new friends that live just less than a half a mile from you.
So very, very nice. Very nice.
I'm glad.
Okay, now.
Oh, yeah.
Scary TV, because Jake is about to check out on this.
Oh, no, I'm sure.
No, don't leave us, Jake. We're going to talk about the subject. Now, I grew up. I'm 58, so I grew up in the 70s and 80s. Kathy is 9 years older than me, so Kathy and me remember a time where there was a lot of really cool stuff on television. Of the scary variety, television series and television movies. Because this is back before the internet, this is back before cable, and so you saw a lot of like made-for-TV movies, movies of the week, come on around 7 o'clock, the movie of the week, And a lot of times it'd be a really cool, scary movie. And I'll bring up two series right together with the same host. That would be Rod Serling, and that would be The Twilight Zone and Night Gallery.
The Night Gallery.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Night Gallery is streaming anywhere. I see the Twilight Zone.
You might check YouTube to see if there's episodes on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because
I remember it.
That's a good question. I don't, I haven't seen it like on Tubi or anything.
Yeah.
But you might check YouTube to see if they've got any. I'll tell you what. One thing that I'll bring up, I didn't even have it on the list because, like I said, we'll definitely do another episode of this because there's so much we can talk about. But you might look up in the 80s, they had a revival of the Twilight Zone in the 80s.
Yeah, I found it, but I haven't watched them.
And there's a bunch of really cool episodes of that on YouTube.
Yeah.
William Friedkin, probably my favorite is one William Friedkin directed, who directed The Exorcist. And it's about this Vietnam vet, and he comes into this bar, and he kind of brings the ghosts of Vietnam with him. It's a real cool episode. And like a William Friedkin directed, but there's a lot of really cool episodes of that 80s Twilight Zone. But I grew up with both of these, the Twilight Zone and Night Gallery. And they would air those on television. I don't know what the channel was, but, right
once a week.
Ma'am?
Once a week.
Yeah, once a week.
Yeah.
And they would air, I want to say it was back to back, Twilight Zone and then the Night Gallery.
I think they did. Yeah, I think so.
So I grew up, man, and there's so much. We could just do a show just about
those two. Yeah.
We could do a show just about them.
It's like Hitchcock. There was hundreds of them, of his shows.
Yeah, like I say, we may do a show and just talk about the Twilight Zone. Because one of my favorite all-time series and so many classic episodes, that the what was it, that doll, and my name is Talkie Tina, and I'm going to kill you. With old Telly Savalas.
My name is Talkie Tina, and I don't like you.
Yeah. And, and of course, To Serve Man. Well, spoiler alert, it's a cookbook. Oh gosh, what was it? It's a Good Life with, who was that actor? He was in Lost in Space, that kid from Lost in Space. Mummy, Billy Mummy. Anyway, he plays this kid with supernatural powers. He can create anything. He can make anything appear. He can make anything disappear. And his family are all they all have to have happy thoughts. Happy thoughts, and they always got to smile because he can read your thoughts. So you got to have happy thoughts. But anyway, and of course, old Burgess Meredith. It's after the nuclear war, and he's really into reading books, and so he's got the whole world to himself. He can read all the books he wants to read now, and then he breaks his fucking glasses. So, and all the time I need, and then he breaks his glasses. But anyway, so many, like I said, we may do a show just about the Twilight Zone.
Well, there's a lot of episodes for both of them.
Well, this is. I've got the old DVDs. I've got all the DVD sets. This is, what is it? Season 3, and that's. Oh yeah. Well, anyway, this has got the Good Life I'm talking about. That with that kid with the powers. But anyway, and then the Night Gallery was in color. Once again, Rod Serling, and this was in late 60s, I think is when it started. And the real cool episodes in that one too. And really some really creepy stuff, some really well done stuff. And the definitive host, Rod Serling, that voice of his, the way he talked. And I remember watching old Twilight Zone episodes, and he's standing there smoking. He got a lit cigarette in his hand.
And I said, See, Ron, little does Ron know, today's going to be his last day. And he grins. He'd say something real ominous, and then he'd kind of grin.
Yeah, that
Like,
grin.
good Lord.
Uh,
Ah, you know.
and Rod Serling was the master of the twist ending, where
Yeah.
a lot of the episodes of the Twilight Zone at the end had this twist. You didn't know what was going to happen at the end. It'd be a twist. That some he was the master of the twist ending. Rod Serling wrote Planet of the Apes.
I didn't know that.
He didn't write the screenplay, but that's his story.
Yeah, yeah.
The screenplay is based on his story.
On this, yeah.
And talk about a twist ending.
Yeah.
One of the ultimate twist endings, Planet of the Apes. Damn you to hell! God damn you to hell! But yeah, that was he was a master of the twist ending, and a lot of those Twilight Zone episodes had that distinctive, twist at the end. It's like, oh shit, like what is it? The Eye of the Beholder, where you get this woman that has plastic surgery, and because she's got her face is bandaged, so the whole episode you don't see her face, and
Yeah.
you think she's hideous, because she's
Grotesque.
grotesque.
Yeah.
She's get this surgery to look normal, to look
Like everybody else.
like
yeah.
everybody else. And when they finally unwrap her face, well, it's O'Donnell Douglas. It's
And she's beautiful.
yeah, it's Ellie Mae from the Beverly Hillbillies is who it is. It's Donna Douglas. And of course she's beautiful. And then you see the doctors and all that, and they're dropping their instruments and oh, it didn't work, and they're disgusted by her. And then you see the doctor turn towards the camera, and he's got this.
They all have these horrible.
Yeah, jutting lip, and all that. Well, everybody in the world looks like that doctor.
Yeah, the nurses and the doctors that were attending her. Yeah,
She's the one that
she's supposedly the ugly one.
she's
Lord.
the freak in this world,
Ooh.
and all the ones with the misshapen face, they're the normal ones, and that's that twist ending, So yeah, Eye of the Beholder, and that's that's the message of the story is beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
That even though the doctors and all of them are ugly and misshapen, whether
And once you see that, you don't never forget it. And it's been what, 60
when you see that
something?
man, I want to say William Tuttle did the makeup for that. He was a popular makeup man during that time, William Tuttle. But yeah, so those are the two I'm going to start off with, Night Gallery and Twilight Zone. And I think we'll probably do just a single episode and just talk about the Twilight Zone. Because we can do 2 hours easily talking about the Twilight Zone. Just talking about favorite episodes and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to go just 111, and I guess, Kathy, you're next.
Well, can you hear me okay?
I guess you're good.
Yeah, at one time I muted. I've got this new stand, and your phone's not clicked or nothing. It just sits on it. So I don't know if it's going to be any better, but maybe I won't have all this wiggling around I have. Well, this one, I have to be careful because Jay will take over because he's going to love it as much as I did.
I'll mind my.
I'm just teasing you. But this one, I got to say, we all of us, you too, Jake's got to be a fan of it because it puts an H in horror, right? And it ran from 2013 to 2017. There was 5 seasons. And the cast is Freddie Highmore, Vera Farmiga as Norman, and Nora Bates, Bates Motel. I had to start there because I could not wait till they dropped another episode of this, So after the death of her husband, Norman Bates' mom buys a motel in this picturesque coastal town of White Pine Bay. Her son Norman was shy and hesitant of meeting the townspeople and moving to this motel where Mama's, him and his mom's got to work on building it up because it's pretty shabby at the time. But he settled into, his home with his mother, which was behind the hotel, a big 2-story house. Old, but then again, it was nicer inside than it was outside. And Norman was unusually close to his mother. Okay. The drama series by Carlton Cuse, C-U-S-E, and Carrie Ehrin, who shared this series, is inspired by Norman Bates from his mature years as he's growing up, like teenager and on up, right? Of course, we all know it's a spinoff of Psycho, and he likes to do taxidermy in his spare time. And his dog gets killed that somebody gave him, and he taxidermied his dog. That was almost more for me. And then his mom hires this young teenage girl, about his age, to run the front office, and she's got cystic fibrosis, so she has to carry her oxygen everywhere she goes. And after a while, she befriends Norman, and then we all know, yeah.
Well, of the more modern shows, that's one of the really good ones. Yeah, that was another one, like you said, where I was anxious to watch every episode. I watched it to the end, watched all of them.
Yep.
And yeah. I highly recommend Bates Motel.
Oh yeah. And I hate to be, I don't know, kind of a smarty pants, but I don't know how many people couldn't have at least heard of Bates Motel. I guess because I liked it so much and I was such a big fan. Okay,
well, yeah,
Jake.
and like I say, if anyone out there, and I don't know, but Jake, if you have some thoughts on that.
It's a good show. I've not seen every episode, but
Yeah.
I like it.
And it'd be a fun one to catch up on, because honestly, there's a lot of those shows where he really shows his creepy self,
Ooh.
Was it Freddie Highmore? Is that his name?
Yeah.
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 And he's, I don't know, is that Good Doctor still on? Because he's.
It just ran a couple of seasons. He got married and they had a baby. But it just ran a couple of seasons.
Good Doctor.
I never watched it. I really liked it. I watched all of Good Doctor, but
But anyway, yeah, I definitely would recommend anyone check that show out. And Jake, what I would do is see, you haven't seen them all. If you can find the last season, watch the last season.
Yeah,
because it ends really well, and where Norman finally goes full cray cray, and it's well done.
And I love that actress. I've seen her on a lot of stuff. She was on a movie with George Clooney, where they'd meet in the airport, and they were business people, and he'd fly one way, she'd fly the other, and she's married, but they ended up having an affair, and George Clooney tracked her down to her home, and she's like, "Whoa, wait a minute." And he didn't do nothing Looney Tunes, but his heart was just broken. He was wanting to start a life with this woman, I love her though. Vera is an excellent actress. Yeah. Okay, Jake,
that's a good one, sis. What you got, Jake?
Okay. Friday the 13th, the series. Just such a cool show. It was about two cousins and this guy, Jack. They run an antique shop, and every item there is cursed. And their uncle, he made a deal with the devil that he would live forever or something like that. But his soul is trapped in the store. And he sold these objects to customers, and the characters Mickey, Ryan, and Jack have to find the cursed objects and bring them back, and it's just such a cool show.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Needful Things, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does actually.
I love that premise. Yeah, no, I'm gonna watch it. I've never watched the
I've
series.
never seen the series, and I remember when
Mm-mm.
it's on, and it's something I didn't sort of actively avoid it, but I never really tuned into it because it has nothing to do with the movie. It's called Friday the
Right.
13th, but yeah,
Well, that's
it's
what
not,
I think will be cool about it.
there's
I mean,
no
I like the movies, but
there's no Jason in the series, but I've always wanted to check that out, and I need to see if maybe it's streaming somewhere, or see if maybe YouTube has episodes or something. But I've always wanted to check that show out.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely. You should.
it kind of like an anthology show? I mean, is it? Because I know you follow these same characters, but is it kind of sort of like an X Files kind of thing where
Yeah.
they?
Yeah. I would say so.
yeah. And so it's a continuation week to week. I mean, show to show to show.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well,
That's the
yeah,
kind I like.
yeah. That's definitely one I want to check out. I've never seen a single episode of it, but I definitely want to check it out.
Me neither. But I knew it was out there, but I'd forgot about it. I'll be honest. But I'm gonna find it.
Yeah.
Well, there's a guy that I watch a lot that does movie reviews, talks about TV series and stuff, and I forget his name. It's not. Is it Chris? I don't think it's Chris Stutler. I like him too, but I don't. This guy, I forget his name. But anyway, he said as a kid there was only two things that really scared him in watching movies or watching TV shows or whatever. There's really only two things that just really unhinged him, gave him nightmares, and one was Velma from a Pet Cemetery, and the other was Pennywise.
Oh, nice.
Tim
Yeah.
Curry's Pennywise. And I just recently rewatched it. It's streaming. And
Is it a TV show?
yeah, it's a made for TV series.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering. It's a
Yeah.
series. It's not
And,
just the
and
one.
it's based on Stephen King's book, It.
Yeah.
And it's Tim Curry plays Pennywise the Clown, who's this supernatural sort of entity. Every 13 years, I believe, in this town, in this main town, kids start disappearing. And
Yeah, I just didn't. I remember the movie with Tim Curry, isn't it? But I didn't know that was a series. Cool.
and he's a supernatural. Pennywise he's not a clown. He's a supernatural force that feeds on fear, and he kills kids. He kills this kid's little brother at the beginning of it. He bites his arm off and then kills him.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, he appears as this clown because he feeds on fear, and of course, all the kids are scared of this clown, Pennywise the clown.
Yeah, because it got Derry, didn't it? And that little boy's name with the red balloon, Derry. It
Oh,
got
of course.
him.
Now, who is it, Jake?
Georgie.
Georgie. Yeah, this Georgie.
Georgie. There you go.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
but anyway,
Georgie.
of course, it's Tim Curry as Pennywise. Harry Anderson's in it. Dennis
What,
Christopher. Richard Masur, Annette O'Toole's in it. Tim Reed, John Ritter, and Richard Thomas plays.
My gosh, that's good.
What's
Yes.
the name?
Bill.
Bill. Yeah. And he as a kid he had a bad stutter, but when he got to be an adult, his stutter went away until a Pennywise showed back up, and then his
That
stutter.
that made me nervous.
Yeah. But anyway, it's played by Richard Thomas, John Boy from the Waltons.
Yeah, no, I know who Richard Thomas is. Yeah,
But
I
he's
like
really
him.
he's really good in it, and the kids are really good too. I don't know.
So is it just called It?
It's just called It. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's streaming, Kathy. It might be on Tubi, but anyway, I've just recently watched it, so it is streaming, and you
Yeah.
got to watch it. I mean, you just have
Well,
to.
yeah.
You got to.
I love that was my only Curry's the only clown I ever liked,
Right on.
I'm gonna put
And well, they made movies here recently, two movies, where the first movie it takes place when there is kids and they're battling Pennywise, and then the second movie is when they're adults when Pennywise returns, and they've made a vow to come back. Pennywise comes back.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and they're pretty good. The first movie's better. The first movie's really pretty good. The second movie is kind of okay. But anyway, you watch the series, Kathy. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
I haven't seen it.
Oh gosh, well, yeah.
No, yeah.
Jake will tell you it's a classic.
It is, yes.
I want to watch it. Okay. So 2022, it started for 2 seasons, and it's called From, From. And the residents of a small town struggle to find a way out when mysterious forces keep them from leaving their town. They can't leave in any direction. They're stuck there. It's got Hannah. I don't know any of these people, y'all, but Hannah Sheremy, Harold Perrineau, Harold Meyer, no, Avery Myers, and Catalina Sandino Marino. Now I've seen her and stuff, but anyway, it's pretty cool. And it
From
From From, and it's like this little country town, and all of a sudden you can't get down the road, you can't go through the forest. There's barriers, and they're invisible, but you can't get through them. And I watched one episode of this, and I thought, oh man, that's really cool. But then something else was coming on that time frame, so I just lost interest because that's cool. But I'm watching Frasier, or whatever I was catching up on. And then I'll do one more. Ratchet.
yes.
2021. She only lasted 1 season. Sarah Paulson made it excellent.
I love Sarah Paulson. I love Sarah Paulson in anything.
Yeah, and she was excellent in that. So a young nurse working in a mental institution becomes jaded before becoming a monster to her patients. And that summed it up, I thought, pretty well. To
summarize who Ratchet is the classic One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Louise Fletcher, who passed away, I think last year, wasn't too long ago, Louise Fletcher passed away. She won the Oscar for playing Nurse Ratchet.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah. Somebody asked her why it wasn't renewed, and they said, well, there was only one. I liked it. I watched the season. I watched it all, and they said poor reviews and ratings canceled the show. So anyway,
I liked it, and it was. And we will talk about this. I'll bring this up here too pretty soon. But it's created by the guy that created American Horror Story.
Yeah.
And Sarah Paulson, of course, is in several seasons.
But she always makes my skin crawl, y'all. Oof, she's so good.
But such a good actress, Sarah Paulson. So,
mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ratchet, and I'm glad you brought that up because I kind of forgot. I watched it, I enjoyed it, and was kind of surprised it didn't get a second season. But,
yeah.
Okay,
great.
Okay. Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction, and the first season was hosted by James Brolin, and then seasons 2 through 4 were hosted by Jonathan Frakes. And there'd be 3 to 5 stories, and some would be fact, and some would be fiction, and you had to guess at the end of the show what stories were fact or fiction. But
yeah.
Fun show.
And sometimes it was hard. I watched every one of those.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was hard. You would think it was fact when it was fiction. Exactly. And then vice versa, right?
Right. Oh my
God. I liked it a lot.
Oh, me too. And watching now, it has some 90s cheese, which I love. I can appreciate how, even though it seems cheesy now, it was, cutting edge back then.
Oh yeah. Yeah, heck yeah.
It's something that is cutting edge now in 10, 20 years time becomes cheese.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, I remember that show too, Beyond Belief, and that's one I'd like to revisit too. You know, now that you bring that up,
That was good.
yeah. Uh,
And that last host again, he was an African American dude, wasn't he?
Jonathan Frakes. No, 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 no. He's white.
Oh yeah, okay.
He was on Star
oh,
Trek.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Jonathan
The,
Frakes.
the,
Yeah, he was in Next Generation.
yeah.
Star
Oh,
Trek,
okay.
yeah. Uh, but you said James Brolin again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he
I
started
forgot
him.
that. I forgot James Brolin hosted.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, well, I just now brought this up, and so I'll show it here. I've got 2 seasons of it on DVD. My favorite is actually Freak Show, but I don't have Freak Show. But I've got the first season, and I've got the first 2 seasons of American Horror Story. Uh, and yeah,
Kathy Bates. Doesn't Kathy Bates play the concierge when you
I,
checking in the hotel?
I forget which episode, which season that was that Kathy Bates participated.
I like that season a lot. Yeah.
This is this is the first season, and this is Asylum. Second,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, it goes in so many different directions every season. You know, just every episode, it follows a story, but those stories go in some wild directions. And you know, yeah, and like I say, several Sarah Paulson's in several of the seasons. And what's her name? That actress that she's in a bunch of. Hang on, real famous actress, Jessica Lange. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jessica Lange was
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
several.
And so Lady Gaga was in one.
Yeah, lady. Yeah, she was a vampire, wasn't she?
I, I
I think she
I
was.
just remembered that she was in. I hadn't seen it, but I knew she was in there. I haven't watched very many of those.
Yeah, I think she's. But
I
anyway,
watched.
that's something that just creepy
Yeah.
stuff and weird stuff. It'll go in some weird directions. Episodes of that.
It's almost like that hotel has a mind of its own.
Yeah. Well, and but the Freak Show is my favorite.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah, I did watch that. All those.
But anyway, then you got Jessica Lange, Sarah Paulson, and that clown. Oh my God, the clown. That's one of the creepiest fucking things you've ever seen in your life. If you think Pennywise is creepy, and
no, Mm-mm.
If you think Pennywise and Art are creepy, you got to see the clown in the Freak Show, American Horror Story.
Well, they had to outdo Art. Come on now.
Well, this is before Art, but anyway.
I know.
But anyway, he's got this grin, plastered on his face. I think his face is. I think he tried to kill himself and blew his face off or something.
Boy, I think he cut. I think that it's like he had cut. It's gonna cut a smile.
So basically, he's missing a mouth, and so he's got this fake grin plastered on his face, and he's a clown. But oh my God, it's the creepiest fucking thing in the world. Oh my God. Yeah, look it up. Look up the clown in American Horror Story and just tell me that isn't the creepiest fucking thing you've ever seen. And it outdoes Art. It outdoes Pennywise as far as just the creep factor. Just looking at something, going, "Oh, holy shit!" And clowns creep me out anyway. So
yeah, ever since you've been 4, I remember. Scared you to death.
But yeah, American Horror Story. I think it's still on. I think it's streaming.
Oh yeah, I run across it every now and then when I'm
There's still good seasons of it.
Clicking around. Yeah.
But
and you can Google it and say, okay, where can I watch American? Now, where's American Horror Story streaming?
Yeah.
And it'll let you know where the series is streaming. Yeah.
Okay, sis.
Okay, let's go. 2016. It just ran for 1 season, but I really liked it. Dead of Summer. Remember that, Jake?
Yeah, I do.
It's one of them summer camps. Summer camp in the Midwest. What campers and counselors predict a fun filled, maybe somebody get the first kiss, or maybe somebody find a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a boy and boy, it don't matter. Hold their hand, do hand holding. But Camp Stillwater has a new owner this summer. Soon evil pops up at every turn as ancient mythologies awaken and the kills are numerous.
And this is Dead Summer?
It's called Dead of Summer.
Dead of Summer.
2016, it ran for one season, and I thought it was good.
And Jake, you saw this?
Yeah, Jake.
I liked it.
Me too.
A lot of jump scares for me, though. I get scared easy when it comes to, you don't know what's going to be coming up behind you or beside you, or, I like it. Oh, hey,
We got
Jay.
Mr. Katz, who I think is a newcomer. Hey, Mr. Katz.
Hi.
Mr. Katz says, "Hey, Jay, it's Kyle. You used my HBO to watch The Last of Us." Oh, yeah. He let me.
Kyle. Yeah, that's on my list.
Yeah, he let me sign into his HBO account so I could watch
That was nice. Thank you.
One of my favorite video games ever is The Last of Us, and I really wanted to watch that series, and he let me sign into his account to watch The Last of Us. I sure appreciate that. But great. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to check that out. Dead of Summer.
Yeah, I liked it.
And
okay, Jake.
You and Jake both say that's something to check out. So
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not okay. It's not the best thing, but there was pretty good writing, I thought.
Yeah, it was fun. Okay, Tales from the Dark Side. This
Yes.
classic anthology series, and the creepy ass intro. The narrator was perfect, and the stories. I think some of them still hold up. They're just good acting, creepy writing. Yeah.
At any time you could watch them, and it's just like they just happened.
Exactly.
It was George Romero. He produced that, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on just a minute before that has sparked me to want to look up something here.
No, can't do it.
Is that your Kindle, Jay? Can't you wait till the stream is done?
We'd rather watch something on there, huh, Jay?
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Ain't we good company? Come on now.
I tell you a side note about that.
Uh-oh.
They took our porn away in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
They took our porn away. You got to prove your age. And the way you got to do that is you have to go through this. Oh, my God, I won't do it. You got to take a picture of yourself, and you got to send a picture of yourself, and then you have to sign kind of, online, sign this kind of shit and go through this whole process because Governor Abbott, asshole,
none of us like him, Jay.
He passed some kind of law saying it's got to have age verification, but they've been sued by the porn industry that says that's unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to see if we're going to get our porn back.
That's messing with their freedom of speech. We ain't going to talk about where they're speaking from.
But they haven't decided that yet. So, fingers crossed.
Well, Jay, what part of you, what you guys see in a picture? Do they really want to see that?
But what I'm looking up has nothing to do with porn. So
I had to go there, Jay.
I'm not.
Well, just a minute, I'll show you. Click.
Okay. All right. All right. But hang on just a minute.
I was teasing my ex-husband come by one day after work. So he works close to where I live, and he's always coming. Well, he won't come unless I text him, come by, But I get extra food from the food pantry, and I was fixing my box, a pantry food that I get a lot more than I really need. So I just go ahead and take the extra and I'll give it to him, and it helps on his grocery bill at his house, right? So he comes by and I said, "They banned porn in Texas." He said, "Oh, there's all kinds of free porn on the internet." He didn't blink twice. I said, "Really?" I said, "Well, I don't really care, but I just wondered if you noticed."
I'm not going to get deep into this because that got me into trouble. So
be careful.
I don't want to get in trouble with you guys again. But I live alone. And I exercise. I get exercise. I work out during the day and stuff. But you got to have an occasional diversion.
Yeah.
I watch movies,
I'm a healthy male, and even though I'm
horror
old,
movies.
you got to have some movies too. But So anyway, I'm waiting to see what they say about the
I
decision.
got new glasses.
But
Yeah.
anyway, Jake
Thanks,
brought
Jake.
up Jake brought up the
I
opening.
got your message.
Jake brought up the opening narration of Tales of the Dark Side, so I'm going to read it here. Man lives in the sunlit world of what he believes to be reality, but there is an unseen by most. There is unseen by most an underworld, a place that is just as real but not as brightly lit. A dark side. So,
That's why he's an actor, writer, director. He can bring the creepy voice.
But anyway, a lot of great episodes of that. I've always wanted to get that series. I don't have that series on DVD, but I want to get it. That's what I watch. A lot of those are really good. Tales from the Dark Side. But anyway, and it ends with the dark side is always there, waiting for us to enter, waiting to enter us. Until next time, try to enjoy the daylight. Anyway, I wanted to read that because, but then when he said that, but
Yeah.
that but always got me,
Oh yeah.
The dark side's always there.
Yeah. So okay, now is it my turn?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's easier to keep up with this way because we're cycled around. Not when you, like on your channel the other day. Gosh, if you hadn't kept up with it, Jake, I'd been lost as a goose.
Yeah. And then Mr. Katz says that I rock. So.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Katz.
Oh, Mr. Katz, yeah.
We try to bring some factoids,
I'm not going to argue with our audience.
Well, no, you must be kind to the audience.
So, if the audience says I rock, well, then maybe.
Well, yeah. And by blood relation, that means I do too.
Huh?
Go ahead. I said by blood relation, that means I rock too. Okay, go ahead, Jay.
You do. You rock also. Anyway, Kathy brought this up, and this is one of my favorite, more recent series. I think it's really well done, and it's 80s flashback, but it's well done. 80s flash. It looks like the 80s. It feels like the 80s. The opening title song, sounds like John Carpenter. I can't believe John Carpenter hadn't sued him for copyright infringement because it's right out of a John Carpenter theme. But anyway.
I can't. What is it?
Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Oh, okay.
Stranger Things.
Don't care for Stranger Things.
You don't? Oh my God. I love Stranger Things.
No.
Yeah, I've loved all the seasons. I think they're really well done. And it deals with sort of the flip side of our world. What's it called? What's it called?
The Upside Down.
The Upside Down. Yeah, the Upside Down, which is the flip side of our world. It's the dark side of it's another universe, but it's the Upside Down. So, up is down and black is white and that sort of thing in this world, and good is evil in this world. So it deals with, crossing this dimension into the Upside Down. And every episode looks like a movie that was shot in the 80s. It looks like, like an old Stephen King, like Stand By Me or there's anything that was shot in the 80s. It really harkens back to a Stephen King movie. It feels like one long Stephen King movie, Stranger Things. But I think it's really well done, really well acted, and has that. If you love 80s movies, I think you'll love Stranger Things. It feels like the 80s. It looks like the 80s. but I think it's well done. It doesn't feel like it's ripping off the '80s. It feels like a real good homage to the '80s.
I need to revisit it. I,
Watch the first season again.
well, I didn't.
Winona
Never,
Ryder's in it.
yeah.
Of course, one of the '80s icons, Winona Ryder. Uh, there's a new Beetlejuice movie coming out. This one's called Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I'll leave that alone.
And Winona
I
Ryder's
saw the trailer for that. Yeah, no.
and Michael Keaton, of course, again is Beetlejuice. But
It
yeah,
might be good. I don't know. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
something that I'll wait until it streams and I'll watch it streaming.
Yeah.
Oh. And what did I watch? Hang on. This isn't the scary TV, but I do recommend Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. You got to see it
That one on Netflix.
on Netflix. Yeah,
Yeah. I saw it. Eddie had one on there, but I haven't seen it yet.
it's really good. It's anyway. It's well done, and you get Judge Reinhold comes back.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah, Judge Reinhold comes back, and the guy that plays Serge, or what his name is, he's back. He's an old man now.
Well, yeah.
Chief of police. And of course, Eddie Murphy's back is Axel Foley, but it was well done. It's a nostalgia trip, but it's a well done nostalgia trip.
Yeah. But that's why a lot of us like to watch it if we knew about the original. The banana,
Axel F, and I recommend it highly.
the banana in the tailpipe.
Yeah, I think it was very well done. I thought.
First movie I ever watched where the guy being chased has the hotel restaurant cater out to the to the cops. Here, take this to me.
And what's his name? Serge is in it. Aquel. He's in it. He makes a little cameo. The old guards there. Pretty much everyone that you.
The old crew, yeah.
They're old.
Well, that happens to the best of me. I mean, to us.
No, Axel F. I thought was really well done. Okay, and let's see. Dead Pit showed up here. Hey, Wes. He says, "Hey, y'all. Hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. Thank you, sir."
Hey, what?
Wes.
Hey,
Same for you.
I had fun jumping on watching you guys for a while yesterday. I really did. I enjoyed it a lot. I try to keep my membership going, but I saw that y'all were live, and I said, "Oh, I got to go see what y'all are up to." So I thought that was dedication for July 4th. Okay, my turn.
I guess so. Might as well be.
It is my turn.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back to 2019. It was so good it made it 4 seasons. Evil.
Ooh.
Skeptical psychologist Kristen Bouchard joins David Acosta, who is trained to be a priest. During the day, he's a contractor, by trade. And they take on cases of the church's backlog, including unexplained mysteries, supposed miracles, demonic possessions, and other extraordinary occurrences. They are to assess if there's a logical explanation or possibly supernatural at work. Now, listen, y'all, I watched the first season of this. I was hooked.
That's my problem is I saw the first season and I was hooked, but then it went to like a streaming service or something like that I couldn't get it.
Oh yeah.
To season 2 and 3, I think they're finishing up a third season.
Well, there's been 4 seasons already.
But I really like the first season, and
Isn't it good?
I need to find where it's showing because I really want to see it.
And she's very skeptical when they go in there. That's what I like about it. She's like,
the guy that was in Lost is in it. I like his character.
David Acosta. Well,
yeah.
I don't know, but yeah.
But he's really good. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I need to look up the second and third seasons and whatever.
And let me do a quick honorable mention. Priest. Have y'all seen that TV series?
I've heard it.
He's a mixed up wicked man now. he should be called Demon because he is something else. And he's got some supporting actors. There's a lot of supernatural in it, and I like the way it was written. Now I can't tell you when it was running because I watched a few episodes. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, because I mean, if he didn't like you, he'll just and you done burn up, you know.
And
And he's got
this is a priest.
yeah, priest, yeah.
Huh.
It's wicked. Yeah. Anyway, your turn, Jake.
Okay, something from 2015. It had 3 seasons. The first 2 are connected, and the third one is separate. Scream, the TV series.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was on MTV. The first 2 seasons. Then
yeah.
I think
I'm-
VH1 or something. The third season, but
I
I
mixed.
haven't seen that either. I have heard of that, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Is the shape in it?
um, they changed
What?
the mask for the first 2 seasons. I guess it was like a surgical mask, but it looks really cool. And the third season they use the famous ghost face mask that
Ghost.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what ghost.
there you go.
everybody knows, but
Yeah.
it's a I thought it was a good show. Honestly, it was.
Yeah. A good series, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's put it on my list. I want to try to find it.
Yeah,
And Jay, before you get going, I was wrong. His name is Preacher. It's not Priest. It's Preacher.
Okay. Preacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, as an honorable mention, this isn't my next choice, but as an honorable mention, I'll mention the Chucky series. I've only gotten to see a few episodes of that, but I think it was really well done. Really, I was surprised of how well done it was. What I thought that it was well done, and effective. Chucky, and of course it's Chucky being Chucky. That's what it is. It's Chucky being Chucky. But I thought it was well made, and I think it's a series that's still going on, Chucky. So, kind of an honorable mention. But anyway, my next choice, and after the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Fun House and Poltergeist, I was always looking forward to what Toby Hooper's going to do next. Because and this came on television, was made-for-TV movie. I think it was 2 episodes. But once again, based on the Stephen King story. And I thought it was very well done. Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
Salem's
Yeah. Now I like Salem's Lot a lot.
If you like your
A
if you
lot.
like your vampires, well, it's a good vampire story. And who is it? David Soul is battling the vampires. But anyway, yeah, really well done. Directed by Toby Hooper. Like I say, it's based on the Stephen King. I think it's a short story, Salem's Lot. But yeah, really well done. And there's a scene where you've got this child vampire and he's floating, and he's trying to get his brother to open up the window to let him in. And oh man, that's creepy. This floating vampire kid,
Tapping on the window.
Yeah, tapping on the window, let me in. He talks about how great it is, that you just it's
Look,
so
he can fly.
great it is to be a vampire, but anyway, very well done. And the what is the king vampire or the master vampire? Oh man, it kind of looks like Nosferatu, big pointed ears and the big giant fangs and bald head. But the master vampire is so creepy cool.
Does he turn into a bat?
I don't remember if he turns into a bat. Maybe he does.
I like it when the vampires
But anyway, Salem's Lot.
morph.
And
Yeah.
it was and there he is. There's the master vampire.
Creepy.
Yeah,
Look at him. He's got a big old cape and
like I say,
everything.
kind of looks like Nosferatu, but anyway, it's a classic. Salem's Lot, the TV series. Like I said, I think it's 2 episodes. But look it up. You won't be sorry. Sailor Blood.
I
Okay.
remember I watched, I think, one episode of it. But let's jump to 2023, one season, Mayfair Witches. I like it. Okay. Rowan Fielding, an intuitive young neurosurgeon, discovers that she is an unlikely heir to a family of witches. As she grapples with her newfound powers, she must contend with a sinister presence that has haunted her family for generations. Mayfair, Fair, witches. I liked it a lot.
I've heard of that.
Yep, yep. That's been my jam, catching up on movies, or series, not movies.
And this is a series, Mayfair Witches.
Yeah, yep, yep. It came out in 2023, and there was just one season of it, but it was very well written. It was a lot of fun. They're redoing. Oh, what's the name of it? Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman's Magic.
I know what you're
Practical Magic too.
Thank you. I love you, Jay.
Thank you.
That's why I'm so thrilled when you hop on. Jay's good, but man, I knew that would come to you. Practical Magic 2. I can't wait for that one. I can't wait to see it. I wonder if they're going to have to bury any more dudes.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, your turn. I'm going to have to step away a minute. Y'all go ahead.
Okay. I'll go with one from my childhood, Erie, Indiana. And a lot of the episodes were directed by Joe Dante, which is just such a fun show, And I don't know, a lot of weird shit happens in Erie, Indiana. Like Bigfoot eats out of the garbage. Or there's a guy that is tracking a tornado, and he like rides and he's like taunting the tornado. It's just like a actually crazy fun kids show, but it's really not really a kids show. Adults can get something out of it too. So
yeah. No, that's a show that I really enjoyed myself, because I know it was kind of geared more towards teenagers, more towards kids, because I know it was really popular at the time. But I always really enjoyed Erie, Indiana. I always thought it was really well done, and I love Joe Dante. I love his style, and of course, Gremlins, and there's so many movies, Piranha, but yeah, Erie. That's a really good choice. I forgot to add this. It almost was going to make my list, Erie, Indiana, but and I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but I'd love to check episodes of that out again.
I think it was on Tubi at one time, but I'm not sure if it still is.
Yeah, but no, real good choice, Erie, Indiana. Okay, let's see here. All right. Well, I don't have it, but I'm going to have a couple of honorable mentions. Ash versus Evil Dead.
Oh my gosh, I got it. Good. Tell me more about it, because I didn't write nothing down.
Ash versus Evil Dead. Now, it's a Bruce Campbell who plays Ash in the Evil Dead films, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. And but he's an old man now, and he's got a beer belly, and he's hanging out in his trailer house, and inadvertently he summons up the Evil Dead again. He gets drunk, and he reads from the Necronomicon, and like an idiot, he summons the Evil Dead out again, and so they he has to battle the evil, what do they call an Evil Dead? What's the what is their name? The evil.
Jeez,
what do they call them? There's a name they have.
Deadites, right?
Deadites. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Deadites. The Deadites return. And it was, I think, 3 seasons. A lot of fun. Bruce Campbell's a lot of fun. Cool special effects. Sam Raimi, I think he directed the first episode, and he might have directed a few other episodes. But of course, he's a producer, Sam Raimi, and the creator of the Evil Dead franchise. But just fun to see Bruce Campbell again as Ash. battling the Evil Dead, and it gets funny, gory. It gets, it's gory, but it's fun, gory. It's um, almost comedic. Um, and but anyway, a lot of fun. Ash versus Evil Dead.
It came out in 2014. And one episode, What We Do in the Shadows, was nominated for 15 Emmys.
Hmm.
It was on FX, but it started out on Stars, STARZ. That's the only streaming service I don't have.
Well, it's a whole lot of fun, and particularly if you're a fan of the Evil Dead films, it's just a lot of fun. And yeah, Ash versus Evil Dead, and so, and I'll go ahead and let that be my next choice, and so it'll be your turn, Kathy.
Oh, okay. Outcast by Robert Kirkman. 2016, 2 seasons, stars Patrick Fugit as a man possessed by demons since he was very, very young. For answers, he turns to a West Virginia evangelist who believes Patrick is fighting a holy war against the Earth's evil forces. And it kept you guessing. And that's why I liked it. And it's called Outcast. It came out in 2016.
Okay.
And of course, anything that Robert Kirkman touches, I'm a huge Dead fan. I like,
Absolutely.
Your turn.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with Unsolved Mysteries, hosted by Robert Stack.
Oh,
God,
Yes.
that was such a great show. And for me, when it was first on, I gravitated more towards the scary shows. But now that I'm older, I love those. But every story though is just interesting, and it was such a great show.
Yeah, and it could cover UFOs one show, missing people the next.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unsolved deaths the next. I mean, you never knew where it was going to go. Unexplained phenomena
Exactly.
in the seas or air. They didn't call it UFOs; they called it that back in the day. But I love that.
It was very diverse, and like you said, in the stories that I told too, it wasn't focused on one in particular, So yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, it was never boring. Oh no, you couldn't wait, and I couldn't wait till it came on every week.
Oh man,
well,
yeah.
that was a great one. Unsolved Mysteries is a great one.
Oh yeah.
Robert Stack's voice, okay.
Okay, well, my next choice will be. There's probably people watching this going, how have you not mentioned this yet? And I'm going to finally mention Tales from the Crypt. Based on the EC comic series, Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, and I believe The Witching Hour were the three comic books that it was based on, the stories were based on. And that was back when comic books were cool. Back when, this was before the comic book code ruined everything. So you would have stories of dismemberment and decapitations and the dead coming back to life to wreak the revenge. And hosted by the Crypt Keeper. The Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, I bet that many a kid had nightmares after seeing him.
But I loved it. It was an HBO series, like I say, based on the, and I think it's, hang on, I've got all of them. So let me see how many seasons there are. 7.
I need about 30 more pillows, Jake. I only have like 10 over here.
7 seasons of Tales from the Crypt.
Okay, there you go. Dollhouse. The Dollhouse one.
Yeah. That's another one. We may just do an episode about Tales from the Crypt and just talk about favorite Tales from the Crypt episode. But yeah, Tales from the Crypt and great, fun stuff. It gets gory sometimes, and some of them are kind of fun, kind of funny, creepy, and some of them are just kind of balls to the wall creepy, and scary.
Yeah.
Uh, but and like I say, based on an old comic book series, so you get a lot of the dead coming back to life, and you get things like that, supernatural events. Not all of them are supernatural, but a lot of them kind of have a supernatural twist to them. But anyway, yeah,
Creepy though. They're creepy. I mean,
creepy, very
they
creepy.
just they creep me out, and
And
I'm
a lot of famous directors like Robert Zemeckis, and I don't know. Toby Hooper might have directed one or two. Joe Dante, I think, directed some. A lot of famous directors directed. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger directed one of them, and appears in one of them. But yeah, and a lot of famous actors appeared in the series. Whoopi Goldberg, I remember, and pretty much if you was a famous actor, you appeared in a Tales from the Crypt episode. So, but yeah, a whole lot of fun, Tales from the Crypt, and yeah. So, okay, sis.
okay. So in 2010, my daughter and son-in-law, my grandson wasn't born until 2013, so they're a young couple, and my daughter. I went over their apartment to visit them one evening, and she goes, "Mom, it comes on a little later, but you've got to watch this." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Because we know you." And I said, "Oh, I don't know, April. I was still working, y'all, and staying up to 10:30, and then I go to sleep, have to get up early, like I was working a 6 to 2 shift." And I said, "I don't know." And she said, "No, once you watch one episode, you'll never miss it. Walking Dead."
Oh,
Okay, now I've got season 2 and 3. And I want season 1, but I don't have it yet. But I'll get it. And it started in 2010, and it lasts for 11 seasons. Now, I'm not talking about the spinoffs where Carol's got her thing and Daryl's got his thing, and
there's like a half dozen spinoffs.
yeah. But for people that the spaceships just let you out and you're rejoining the human race, Walking Dead is when the world is ravaged by zombie apocalypse. Police officer Rick Gaines, played by Andrew Lincoln, and a small group of others struggle to stay alive as the dead stalk them at every turn. Can Rick and the others hold on to their humanity as they fight to live in this terrifying new world? And, they have to hunt for food. They have to try to find medication. And in all of that, there's a new baby born. They got to feed that baby because the mama, I don't know. But anyway, you got to watch it. If you've never seen it, I am definitely a deadhead. And I don't mean the musician. I don't mean the music group.
Well,
Grateful Dead.
I kind of consider it almost a soap opera in the zombie apocalypse. Because it gets into, like you say, this family dynamic.
And these group of people come, they're fighting for survival and pills.
Yeah, because you have them fighting other groups that are like, because it's an apocalypse, people are fighting for food.
Yeah.
They're fighting to survive in the zombie apocalypse.
Heaven forbid you run out of ammo.
Yeah, ammo. Mm-hmm. So, you have these different groups that they'll have to encounter and fight. And of course, there's the infamous Negan that had his group that they come up against. And Negan's a motherfucker.
And the sheriff, the very beginning of it, Andrew Lincoln, which is British, but you'd never know it. He has him and his wife Lori have their son, right?
Cole.
Cole.
Yeah.
And so when it starts, the sheriff and is not sane, and a police car pulls up, and Lori was a school teacher, and it shows up at the school, and his partner Shane gets out, and poor Andrew Lincoln, Rick, has been shot, and he's taken to the hospital. Okay, and the next thing you know, this apocalypse pops off, and he's barricaded in this hospital room, and he wakes up and he's hearing all these dead people.
Well, he sees in this hospital, he sees this sign on a door that says "Dead Inside."
Yep.
Well, he don't know what that means. He
He
thinks, well,
don't mean somebody's just depressed. They mean
he just
you
thinks
hear them.
he thinks it just means dead people.
So
And
whenever
so he goes outside of the hospital and he sees this little girl carrying a doll. And he goes, "Oh, can I help you?" And she turns around and half her face is like eating away, and comes at him,
yeah.
That's
But
his
anyway,
first zombie.
I love
The
him, love
first
him, love him, love
zombie.
him. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I really got into Walking Dead. I could see some people, and they'll do 2 or 3 seasons and kind of check out. A lot of people checked out after season 2.
Well, I know.
Because it goes on and on and on and on before you finally find out that what's her name's daughter is turned. She comes out of that barn. They drug it out way too long.
Well, haters are gonna hate. I love it.
But I
Every episode.
enjoyed it. I watched most of the seasons. I watched. A lot of people checked out when Negan showed up.
Well,
And,
they just. Well, I don't know what they're watching then, but that's their problem.
but no, I like The Walking Dead, and that's definitely a good choice. And like I say, there's spin-offs. There's the Fear of the Walking Dead, and
The One Who Lives is the newest one.
One Who Lives, and
Yeah.
And there'll be spin-offs until the end of time of The Walking Dead.
Well, AMC lost me when they did a season finale of The One Who Lives. There's a spin-off to where the husband and wife, she goes through hell and high water and finally finds him. And and the way, you get 2 or 3 really good episodes, and then another one that leaves you so high up in the air thinking, okay, now what? And then they ain't doing no more. Kiss My Grits on Main Street. No. So I said, AMC, cancel. But I go back to my old favorite, the original series, the original 11 seasons of The Walking Dead. Okay, Jake.
Greg Nicotero, who I met at the first Frightmare weekend, he directed a lot of the episodes. He's a producer. He's a makeup man. Started off like doing Day of the Dead, working with Tom Savini. But anyway, he produces a lot of the Walking Dead episodes. Writes. He directed a bunch of them. Wrote a bunch of them. Greg Nicotero. But yeah, that's a popular choice.
It is. It is for me. But I got good taste, so there you go. Okay, Jake.
I'm going to go with Scream Queens. It had 2 seasons, starting in 2015 and then in 2016. And Jamie Lee Curtis appears in both seasons, and it's just such a fun show. It's oh my god, it's just a funny show. You have to shows to check out, and it's a shame there's only 2 seasons. We deserve a 3rd season at least. Come on.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought so too, and I watched every season of Scream Queens. But I like Jamie Lee and everything. Jamie Lee Curtis, and so I was really excited, and I was glad I got my autograph picture. It's not a her; she's between the 2 Dead Pit guys. But I bought that from them when they were selling. We got autographs, and I'm like, okay, it's Uncle Bill and CK signed it, but they had 3 choices, and I picked the one with Jamie Lee in the middle.
Cool.
Yeah, it's nice to have that little 8x10. Got it hanging on my bulletin board, and she's holding the clapper board, which I thought was cool. Okay, your turn, Jay.
Well, this is another series that kind of like the Twilight Zone and Night Gallery, and we didn't mention, we got to mention Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and of course we did an Alfred Hitchcock show, so we definitely talk about that, and we'll do that. We'll talk more about Alfred Hitchcock later on too. We may do a part 2 of that Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, I'd like to delve into some of his shows
in talking about Alfred Hitchcock Presents, but that's another one to bring up. Alfred Hitchcock Presents. But anyway, this one dealt more in the sort of outer space. It's more of a sci-fi spin, kind of a sci-fi spin on the Twilight Zone, and it's Outer Limits.
Yes. Yes.
And you begin the beginning. We control the vertical. We control the horizontal. You know, and really cool episodes. It was black and white. Some really creepy aliens in that. You know, some of the creepiest looking aliens. You know, a lot of times they'll encounter aliens of some kind, of some sort. And most of the episodes had a science fiction spin on it, but most of them were really kind of creepy and scary and eerie and weird. But anyway, yeah, the Outer Limits, and that's why kind of a science fiction, you know, science fiction spin on something like Night Gallery and Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
But, leans more towards science fiction, but still really creepy and cool. So, but anyway,
Have you seen them, Jake? Outer Limits.
I've seen the reboot from the 90s, but not the original yet.
The original is pretty good. I mean, I liked it. I never missed an episode.
Jake, you might check YouTube or see maybe if it's streaming somewhere, because it gets really creepy and really cool. So cool. I definitely would recommend you check out the original. I saw some of that reboot, and that reboot was pretty good. Some of those shows were good, but the original, I definitely think you should look it up. The original.
Yeah, you got to get that old school feel going.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Okay, my turn. 2015, iZombie, 6 seasons. An overachieving medical resident, Liv Moore, played by Rose McElver. She attends a party that turns into a zombie feeding frenzy. She ends up one of them, the living dead. Liv takes a job at a coroner's office to quench on her cravings for brains. She acquires memories of these people that she feeds on. So instead of going out with other vampires and turning other people into vampires, and she doesn't really crave the blood as much as the brains. So, and she realizes pretty fast, and I've watched most all of this series. She realizes pretty, and she's beautiful, and she looks like a normal woman. You wouldn't know unless you know, right? But she, she's a really good actress, really is, and it's well written. And when I call something well written is when you're watching it and you're thinking, yeah, that could happen. And that's the way I feel every time I watch one of those episodes. When she learned, she kept wondering why she's having these weird flashbacks and stuff, but they're very tastefully done. They're vague, so they don't take over the show, at the time. And she realizes she's whoever's brain she's getting the memories from it, and it's pretty cool.
And that's something I always wanted to check out. I've never seen an episode of iZombie, but
yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's really good. But I thought that was smart of her to figure out. Okay, I got to quench for brains. I'll go to work for a coroner. Okay, Jake.
Okay. I'm going with a made-for-TV movie from 1991, The Haunted, and it's about Jack and Janet Smurl. Their house was possessed, I think, by a demon, and Ed and Lorraine Warren. It was one of their cases, and the husband was sexually assaulted by a ghost, he claims, which I think that I love the movie. But I believe in. I think it could happen. So But
well, yeah, and I believe in ghosts because I've seen one, and I don't care who people think I'm crazy, but I've seen one. So I believe in ghosts, right?
And this is the Haunted.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
1991.
Is it ing or ed? Haunted?
Oh, Edie, Haunted.
Haunted. Yeah, I thought it was haunted.
I don't guess I've ever seen this. And this is a series
It's a TV movie.
or TV
Made for
movie.
TV.
The TV movie.
Yeah,
Haunted.
it's good.
Huh.
I had
But,
seen, but I forgot a lot about it, Jake. So I want to watch it again.
well, let's step through this door then, Kathy. Tell us about your ghost sighting.
Oh man, you sure?
You brought it up. Let's hear about it.
1989. I was working for a state school. I started dating my now ex-husband. We were together 27 years. We were married 23. And we decided to move 30 something miles from the little town I was working and living in with my two little kids to Waco, right? And when we went to Waco, spent the night with his parents, and I'm trying to find a place for us to live. And I find these apartments, 2-bedroom apartments. Well, my kids were little, so that's enough for 2 little kids, even though it was a boy and a girl. They were shared it okay. And my parents said, well, David and he had brought his pickup and, with a couple of tarps to cover stuff up, but he was pulling their horse trailer. His dad had a big old ranch at the time, pulling the horse trailer. And we put a lot, they put in fresh boards and stuff on the bottom so we could also put in furniture, beds and stuff. So my parents said, leave the kids with us, come back and get them tomorrow. So we did. We left. We were, I'd worked and he'd worked, and we were both worn out when we started moving. And we moved well into the night, till about 11:30, 12 o'clock. No, it was 11:30 because Domino's was closing at 12, and we wanted to get on over there and order pizza for dinner. So what we did was he drops me off, and I carry in, the blankets and bedding and stuff in case we were just going to make a pallet on the floor for the night. And we'd already unloaded the bed, but it was a water bed, so it wasn't hooked up yet. And I went to take a shower because I locked the front door, and we had a long hallway. Went through the living room and then the kitchen to the side, and then 2 bedrooms and our bedroom. And then, so I went to take a shower. And we're tired. We're not quite sleep deprived, but we're both exhausted, And so he's not there. I'm by myself. The house is locked. The apartment is locked tight. I'm taking a shower, and it's one of those sliding shower doors, right, of a bathtub. It's got a bathtub and both. And you know how one side will be kind of clear, but then the other one has that pebbly stuff, so you can't quite see real good through it, but you can see.
Yeah.
Okay. All of a sudden, I see a little boy. He's looks like he's about 3, maybe 4, but he's not real tall. Start at one end of the door. Of course, it's closed because I'm in the shower. I'm taking a shower, and he's walking across. Just walks right by. Doesn't look at me or nothing. Just walks straight through. Because it was 2 bathrooms connected by 2 doors, right? And I thought, okay, okay, well, I just moved in with this man, and we've been dating for a year, but I wasn't going to tell him that I seen a little boy, right? Okay. He gets back. I orders Domino's. We just piled all the blankets and quilts together, and we made us a pallet on the floor in the bedroom. And we're sitting there talking. He goes, I'm going to go take my shower. So I threw a towel at him. He went in there to take a shower. And next thing you know, he wasn't in there 5 minutes, and he turns the water off. Kathy, I said, what? He said, are the kids home? I said, no, the kids aren't home. We're going to have to go get them. Mom and Daddy weren't going to bring her over here at at midnight by then. And he goes, I swear I just seen a little boy walk by this. I said, my daughter had just turned 5 years old, and she was about a head and a half taller than this little boy. And you could tell, he had the short haircut, and he had a T-shirt on. I just seen him from like the waist up, but you could tell it was a little boy. He said, are you sure there's not a kid in this apartment? And I said, no, David, there's no kid in this apartment. He proceeds to get out, wrapped a towel around him, and looked in every corner under the kitchen cabinets and all the closets,
Huh.
and the other bathroom, under the pantry, everywhere, under the bathroom, under the sinks, cabinets, and everything. He said, I swear I saw a little boy walk by the door. And I said, ah. And see, I wasn't gonna say nothing, y'all. I wouldn't, nope, because I was falling in love with this man pretty hard, and he's gonna help me raise my 2 kids. Do you think I'm gonna be crazy enough to rock this boat?
Well,
No.
after he said that, what did you say?
I said, I seen the same thing when I was taking a shower.
Yeah.
He said, all right, swear to me. So we start our relationship. Don't lie to me and don't cheat on me, and we'll be all right. And he was like 8 years younger than me. So I thought, okay, 2 people can't have the same hallucination without even having a conversation about it. So I knew, see my ghost.
Huh. Cool. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. That's my ghost.
Well, now whose turn is it?
No.
Is it Jake? Let's do Jake.
Yeah, let Jake go.
Okay. The 2009, it only had 1 season. Harper's Island. That was the fun show, fun series.
Was it supernatural and comical?
It wasn't supernatural. Harper's Island takes place in New York or somewhere around there, and this killer John Wakefield murdered 7 people, and then 10 years later, so he may be back, and
Oh, that sounds good.
What is it again, Jake?
It's Harper's Island.
Yes, Harper's Island.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, thank you. I had heard of it, but I didn't try to find it because I said, well, I have no idea what it's about. So why would I? Yeah. But now I'm interested. I'm warped, okay? Now I'm warped. I love serial killers movies big time.
Well, I tell you a show you should look up, Kathy.
Dexter. I've seen every episode.
Dexter. That's one way. Well, definitely Dexter. I'm glad you brought up Dexter because that's Dexter. But Hannibal.
I done seen it. I done seen all I could get a hold of. Hannibal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very well done. Very creepy. I forget the actor's name that plays Hannibal, but he's really good. And that's a good show. Yeah.
And he looks like a Hannibal, don't he?
I think it just did. I think it was just 3 seasons, but really good. I was sad that they canceled it because I was.
Yeah, 3 seasons. They canceled it in 2016.
Yeah, Hannibal.
Yeah, so. Hannibal. Yeah.
But
AMC ran it.
My next choice is another Stephen King. Once again, if we're going to make there's a whole bunch of made-for-TV movies based on Stephen King.
Oh yeah.
And but this is one of my favorites, and I think one of the best. And it's one of his biggest books. That damn book is like that. Like the hardbound, you could kill somebody with it.
I don't know how you can read like that. My head hurts.
Anyway, it's The Stand.
Yeah.
Basically, it's good versus evil. The good being this elderly black lady named Mother Abigail. And she has, I don't know if you can kind of a Jesus quality. You know, she can read people's minds. She has, I don't know if she has really sort of magic powers, but she's very in tune with people, good or evil. She knows if you're good. She knows if you're bad. She's
intuitive.
She's very intuitive, Mother Abigail. And then, who's the evil guy? Well, once again, Randall Flagg. And there's been a worldwide plague which has killed most of the world's population.
Oh crap! So
there's only a few people left. Captain Trips, I think is what they call it. It's kind of a super flu. that's spread throughout the world and killed most of humanity.
Oh,
There's just a few people left, a little, scrambling around. And you have this evil, pretty much the devil, basically, it's the devil, uh, called Randall Flagg. And he wants to take over the remnants of humanity. What little are left, he wants to take over and make them do his bidding. He's evil personified. And you've got Mother Abigail, the good woman, the personification of good, you know, good versus evil. And her gathering the
I'm
people
sorry, y'all.
together, gathering people together on the good side to battle this group of people that's on Randall Flagg's side. Good versus evil, The Stand, and very well made. It's a mini series. I forget how many episodes it is. It's 3 or 4 episodes, but it's a mini series, and of course it's based on Stephen King's maybe his longest novel. I'm not sure. It is pretty long too, but I think The Stand may even beat that. Um, but anyway, The Stand.
Yeah, I
Uh,
like that a lot, a whole lot. Yeah, and I've seen
Gary,
it. Yeah.
Gary Sinise, Ruby Dee plays Mother Abigail. Uh, let's see. I'm trying to think who else in that. Ozzie Davis, Miguel Ferrer, Matt Frewer, Max Headroom,
Yeah.
Matt Frewer, uh, Ray Walston's in it, Molly Ringwald, you know,
Yeah.
the old John Hughes movies. Molly Ringwald's in it.
I
But
love her. Yeah.
anyway,
Sweet 16.
and they made, and I didn't watch it. They remade it with Whoopi Goldberg playing Mother Abigail,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen it. But they did a remake of it. So.
And she's good. I mean, Whoopi's good.
But the original's the one to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that 100%.
So,
Yeah. That
okay.
guy standing on top of that camper.
Yeah.
The Stand. Okay, this was a Netflix. It came.
I thought that was
The Stand.
okay. Okay.
2017, 2 seasons. Creeped Out. A series of spellbinding, enchanting, and intriguing tales that will bring chills to the back of your neck. Different characters must navigate their way through the unexplained. And it's called Creeped Out.
Creeped
And it's
out.
good.
Huh.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Jake, have you ever heard of Creeped Out?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you can find it on Netflix, I think still. It ran for 2 seasons, 2017. It's kind of like there's a whole lot of different characters and different stories, and the tales will bring chills to the back of your neck and make the hair stand up on your arms. It's good. Let me do one more. 2019, 3 seasons. 2 TWO Sentence. 2 Sentence is the name of it. Also on Netflix. Horror Stories Anthology series exploring the primal and social fears we all deal with.
And this is what now? Sentence?
2 Sentence. TWO
Sentence,
SEN.
like a word sentence.
Like I'm saying a sentence with a
Sentence.
period. Yeah. 2 Sentence. Horror Stories is the name of it. 2 Sentence Horror Stories.
Oh, like TWO sentence.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Like two sentences. So
Yeah.
it's
Like the number 2.
horror stories that are easily explained.
2 Sentence Horror Stories is the name of the anthology, actually.
Huh.
And it's an anthology series exploring primal and social fears that people have. I've only seen a little bit of the first season. There are 3 seasons of it. Okay, Jake, what you got?
Okay. I have Freddy's Nightmares.
Cool.
That was a fun show. Before my time, but still fun.
Yeah, yeah,
And it only had 2 seasons, but they could have gone at least another season, I think. I don't know.
yeah. That's what I think about a lot of them sometimes. When, well, there's some that just went one season, and I'm like, ah, bring me some more. Are you kidding me? One season. I just got going good on it.
Really? Yeah.
Freddy's Nightmare.
Well, of course, it's Robert Englund as Freddy, and I don't know if I've watched many episodes of that. So how did that play, Jake? Was it kind of an anthology, like different stories, and he hosted it?
Exactly, Jay. That there were a few episodes that he was a character in, but mostly he was like the crypt keeper or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool.
Freddy's Nightmares. And Jake, didn't they do kind of a prequel to Nightmare on Elm Street where they showed, the how Freddy was killed and how he became Freddy?
Yes, they did. Um, that was actually the pilot episode.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah. Freddy's Nightmares. Yeah, good choice. And that's one I didn't. That's one I need to look up too. I didn't see many episodes of it back in the day, but I'd like to check that out.
But we got to revisit them. That's what's so fun about these shows we can do.
Well,
Make
believe it or
space.
not, I'm back to Stephen King. Yeah,
That's okay.
Really
He's a
like to
winner.
say, there's a ton of made-for-TV Stephen King stories, but this one I watched recently, and I was surprised at how good it is because I remember thinking that it wasn't so hot. And when I revisited it and watched it, I said, this is damn good. Because at the time I was reading the book. And of course, the movie is a classic, Shelley Duvall, Jack Nicholson, The Shining. But this is the TV movie, and it was written by Stephen King because Stephen King always infamously hated Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. He didn't like it. He did not think it was a good adaptation of his book. It took too many liberties. He said it didn't have any kind of heart to it. It was just cold. There's no feeling to any of the characters. Shelley Duvall just spends the whole movie screaming and cowering, and that's not the character. The wife is strong. She's a strong character. She stands up for herself. And in the movie, poor Shelley Duvall was screaming.
Bless her heart. She was a basket case, wasn't she?
Now, I love The Shining. I love the movie. I love Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall. I love I love, Stanley Kubrick's direction. I love the movie, but I will agree, having read the book, it's almost night and day. The difference between the story in the book and the movie that Stanley Kubrick made. He basically made his own movie. He basically said, fuck this book. I'm going to make my own movie, And he took the basic characters, but he twisted it and turned it into his own story. Stanley Kubrick did. And Stephen King always hated that. He hated what he did to his book. He loves Stanley Kubrick's movies, the 2001: A Space Odyssey and Doctor Strangelove and all that. He says he's a great director, but he ruined The Shining. But anyway, so Stephen King, I think he kind of went. He kind of got the idea. Well, I want to tell the story the way it should be told. So he wrote the screenplay to the TV version. He produced it. He wrote it. This is his version of the book, The Shining. Stephen King's version of it. Now it's Mick Garris directed it, but anyway, it's Rebecca De Mornay plays the Shelley Duvall part in this one, the wife, Rebecca De Mornay. Always liked her, and Steven Weber plays the Nicholson part, uh, and the kid is really good. That plays the little kid with the shining powers. He's really good in it. And anyway, I was surprised how well I like the TV movie of The Shining. Um, it's got some moments where you got these, you know, what is it that animals that are made out of like plants? What do you call that? You know, what do you call that? You know, where they cut.
Hedges or not hedges, but
Flycatchers?
No, it's animals that are made out of like
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they're like topiaries, only they're
prairie
animals.
animals or whatever you call it. They come alive, and it's kind of bad CGI at the end of it.
But
But
cool.
but for the most part, I thought it was really well done. The TV movie of The Shining. So yeah, look that up. If you haven't seen that, check that out. I know fans out there says, "Oh no, fuck that." You know, it's all going to be the Jack Nicholson movie. But give it a try. And particularly if you're a fan of the book, which I am. Like I say, I recently read the book, and it's around that time I watched the TV movie and said, "I'll be damned, this is actually really good," and much more closer to the book because, of course, it's written by Stephen King. So uh, he made the version of The Shining that he wanted to make. So
Yeah, well, he knew what he wanted. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, sis.
Okay, I'll do a couple. 2022, one season, Mr. Midnight. Beware of the Monsters. A group of teen friends become paranormal investigators and document their adventures in an online blog under the pseudo name Mr. Midnight. It's pretty good. I've seen it. I've seen one of the shows, but anyway, it's good. It made me remember it enough. Anyway, okay, and then we got it's a Stephen King one, Jay. One season, 10 episodes. 2021 ran Chapelwaite.
Huh.
Yep. Chapel, Waite. I hope I'm saying that right. Might be White, Chapelwaite. Captain Charles Boone, played by Adrian Brody, which I like that actor. He's good. He relocates his family of 3 children to his ancestral home in Maine after his wife dies at sea. Based on a short story by Stephen King, a spin-off of Jerusalem's Lot.
Huh. Interesting.
So,
Because Jerusalem's Lot is a short story that he later kind of morphed into Salem's Lot.
okay.
And because it kind of takes place in the same town, Jerusalem's Lot and Salem's Lot. Salem's Lot is kind of the nickname that was given to Jerusalem's Lot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, about this
Well,
town.
you ought to write it down. You might like it. There was 10 episodes.
Town full of vampires. But yeah, Chapelwaite. Huh.
Yeah, and it's Waite. Chapelwaite.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Jake. I did too.
let's see. Well, this one was obviously well before my time, but I have to mention it. The Monsters. That's just a hilarious show. And Herman and Grandpa were the best, but the whole cast was great. But
And the hand.
Fred. No, that's
And the thing.
That's Adam's family.
Oh man.
The
Monsters.
Adam's family is what one we'll mention right along with the Monsters.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll do the monsters though.
I've been watching the Adams Family on was it what the television? I'm watching Gunsmoke right now. But what is that? What is that station? But anyway,
made-for-T.V. maybe.
Maybe yeah, that, and then there's this other one. And God, what is it? But anyway, but yeah, Monsters. I love the Monsters. Fred Gwynn, and of course, Fred Gwynn is great in Pet Sematary. You know, but you get him as an old man. You know, sometimes dead is better. But anyway, oh yeah, love the Monsters. I put that almost even, the Monsters and the Addams Family. This kind of
yeah,
is right together. That's one that I watched all the time as a kid. The Munsters and the Addams Family, and of course Lily, and yeah,
Wednesday.
Herman and Lily, and yeah, and Grandpa.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no.
Oh, and their real pretty niece. What was her name?
Oh well, now
Mary.
that's Addams Family, and you're talking about Wednesday. Wednesday.
No, that wasn't Wednesday.
Yeah.
The Monsters had a niece come live with them, and she's gorgeous. She's real pretty, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
I forgot her name. Well, she was real pretty. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Marilyn.
Marilyn.
Yes.
Marilyn.
See, I knew you was gonna bring it home, and you're right, Jay. I knew the Addams Family was Wednesday.
Okay, well now, and speaking of that, there's a recent series of Wednesday that's really
Yeah.
good.
The grandkids have watched it and like it well.
Really good. So look that up. Tim Burton, who did, of course, the Batman and Beetlejuice and Nightmare Before Christmas and all that. Anyway, he did the series Wednesday, and the girl, I forget her name, but man, she's real good. That plays Wednesday. She's so good. But yeah, look that up, Wednesday. And I hopefully they're going to do another season of that because really,
Well, boy, my grandkids like it. I've never watched any of
you
it.
got it. Well, you need to watch it then. I think you'll really like it, Wednesday. But yeah, Monsters. But yeah, great choice, Monsters. Okay, I'll give one more. We'll do one more apiece because we got about 5 minutes to go here. But I don't. But we can go longer. But anyway,
I'll do two pretty fast then.
This is a made-for-TV movie. I remember watching this as a kid, and man, it creeped me the hell out. I brought this up on Jake's show the other day. But anyway, it's Larry Drake. He's kind of a mentally challenged boy, none too bright. But anyway, he's accused of, I think, child molesting or something like that, or killing a child or something like that. He's wrongly accused of a crime. And the townspeople hunt him down, and they put a hood over his head, and they kill him. And with that hood over his head, he looks like a scarecrow. I think they actually hang him up on a wooden cross or wooden stake like a scarecrow, and he's dead. Well, he comes back to life, and he makes things right. And that is Dark Knight of the Scarecrow.
Yeah, he gets revenge, don't he?
Yeah, gets revenge.
Didn't
Comes
do
back,
it.
sir.
Oh, sorry. I was just quoting the movie.
What is it again? The quote?
Bubba didn't do it.
Yeah, Bubba didn't do it. Yeah,
And
yeah.
Bubba didn't do it, bless
Yeah,
his
well, it's
heart.
Larry Drake, and Bubba didn't do it. But anyway, really well done. The deaths are really cool. One guy gets killed like in a grain silo. Or something
Yeah.
like that. He's like buried in like corn and grain and stuff. But anyway, and him coming, and here he is with his pitchfork. And,
Poor little guy.
and it's covered up in that hood. But very creepy, very well done. But it was a made-for-TV movie, Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. But I think they might have did a remake of it, which I don't think I've ever seen. But look up the original. Find the original, the one with Larry Drake, Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. And very well done. And that's as a kid, it creeped the hell out of me. But always, that's the thing. I would watch scary shit, and it would give me nightmares, and then I'd look for more scary shit.
Couldn't wait till something else would come on again.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Okay, sis.
Okay, I've got one season. I don't have the year, but it's Cray Cow Monsters. A young woman haunted by her house joins a mysterious professor and his group of gifted students who investigate paranormal and fight demons. And it's CRACOW, Cray Cow Monsters.
Huh.
Yep, on Netflix.
What's the year of this again?
I don't have the year on it. I didn't write it down.
But where did you find this?
Netflix. You can find it on Netflix.
Cray
Cow Monsters.
Monsters.
Uh-huh. And then Another one, Netflix, again, didn't write down the year because it didn't show it. So I researched pretty good though for these shows. Archive 81 is the name of it. An archivist takes a job restoring damaged videotapes, but finds themselves getting pulled into a mystery involving the missing director and a mysterious cult they are documenting. It's creepy. And it's also Netflix.
And the title of that again?
Archive 81.
Archive 81.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm getting some new ones here.
Let me see. I think that might be my last one. Let me double check since we're almost done. And then we'll let Jake have some saying if he wants to finish his. Yeah, we need to do another show of this because we didn't talk about Penny Dreadful.
We'll definitely do a part 2 of this.
We didn't talk about Penny Dreadful. We didn't talk about Last of Us, the actual movie. I watched it, that series based on the game. Midnight Mass, that's another good series. It's on Netflix right now, actually, I think. But anyway, yeah, no, there's several.
Well, I'd like to do this again. I'd like to actually talk about some individual Twilight Zone episodes and Night Gallery episodes and get more in detail about both of those series. And we'll definitely do a part 2 of this.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Just like we're going to do a part 3 of music. So.
Okay, Jake, what you got, man?
Yeah, we'll end with Jake.
Okay. Something from when I was a wee lad. Are you afraid of the dark?
Yes. Yes.
It was just classic. It was kids from Canadian actors, and I don't know. It was just fun. Good show.
And I was afraid of the dark when I was little. I sure was.
And Jake, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Was it more kind of like Erie, Indiana? Had that kind of feel to it?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, kind of not made intentionally for kids, but kind of lean towards something that teenagers would watch and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it. I tried to read. There was some. I tried to get the grandkids. I wanted to get them to read them, and there was a series that was kind of like "Are You Afraid of the Dark?" And they wouldn't have nothing. I said, "Can I read one of these stories?" Nope. 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 Don't want you to read them. Don't want to hear about them. Don't want nothing about it. And when I was still living at their house, which I lived for several years with them, right? When I was still living at the house, I would have, a very, G-rated horror movie on, and they would just walk in my room, right? They would knock. They tried to train them to that, but their attitude was, "That's my grandmother. I'll go to her if I want to." But like I was watching Jaws one day, and they walked in, and that's when the little boys were over there in that pond and whatnot. And she's hollering shark, and boy, that grandson shot out of that bedroom. I said, "I'll turn it off." No, that's okay. That's okay. So just little stuff like that freaked him out. And she, the granddaughter, you couldn't even watch commercials that were advertising a horror movie. It's going to be in the theaters. And she said, "Oh, okay, I got to go." I'm like, okay. So I totally different than my daughter. When she was little, she'd hear about, like one time she come in, I was watching The Fog. "Oh, Mama, that's scary, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah." And then she hunkers down. 5 years old, crawls up the bed with me. "Can I watch that?" I said, "Yeah, come on." But also, I introduced her to Freddie way too young, I think. But she still likes horror pretty good. So, but anyway. Jake, I've had fun. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, and like I say, we'll definitely do a part 2 of this because, like Kathy said, there's several we haven't mentioned, and I would like to delve more in deep with particularly Twilight Zone and Night Gallery, just individual episodes that I really like, and just classic episodes. There's so many we could talk, particularly about the Twilight Zone. There's so many we could mention and talk about individual episodes and stuff. So we'll definitely do another one of that, of this, Scary TV. Not sure exactly what our next episode will be, what the theme will be. I'm kind of watching the weather. Like I say, Tuesday and Wednesday's the big day to watch to see if we're going to get blown away by a hurricane. And the hurricane barrel, which
Yeah.
wants to head right in our direction Tuesday and Wednesday.
Think of all the anxiety, Jake, that you might have in your life, because we all have some. I mean, all of us do. Some have. My daughter has quite a bit. She deals with sometimes with her anxiety, and roll it all up in a big ball and hand it to Jay, because poor Jay has weather anxiety
Well, it's the
really bad.
that really is, as far as
I
anything
know,
that scares me, it's weather. It's severe storms in Texas because
and I
I live out here in the woods by myself, and like I say, May was just insane. May we had over 15 inches of rain in the month of May. It rained more last May than it's ever rained in Texas in history. And a lot of them were really bad storms, really high winds, and electricity went off a few times. And late at night, of course, it was the worst time for electricity to go off late at night.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is my biggest fear is bad storms. So,
and I know why. I know exactly why. And a lot of people feel this way about all kinds of subjects, but it's your lack of control. You have
yeah,
no control over it. It's just something that's going to happen to you, and you got to, you know, think. We got to think on our feet how we're going to react to it. It's just like a lot of things in life. It's all how we
well, I
handle
got
it.
this neighbor Tommy that's gave me access to his guest house anytime. I don't have to say nothing to him. Just go in there and duck in there whenever one comes. He don't want me in his house. He don't say that, but I know that's the fact. He don't want me in there. The few times I've been inside his house, I know I'm on the clock. I know he can't wait to get me out of there. I don't know why, but he's that.
Well,
I don't see anyone ever visit the man. He doesn't have visitors.
he likes to stay to
It's
himself.
just
Okay?
him and his cat.
Well off, a retired psychiatrist, man. And that guest house is like a 5-star hotel. It's
now
nice.
he treats me pleasant. He's nice. Every now and then I'll ride to town with him, that kind of thing. But he's never said, I don't want you in my house, but I know that's a fact. He don't want me in his house.
Well, you can tell when you're feeling comfortable around somebody.
Yeah, well, I do. I know I'm on the clock when I'm in there.
That's cute. I've never heard
Like
that.
I say, I've never said a harsh word to him. He's never said a harsh word to me. But he's known me most of my damn life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're good friends with Daddy when Daddy was alive. But
Yeah.
But yeah, he don't like people in his house. He don't like visitors. I don't even see his best friend. With a Jimmy Gore, I don't even see him anymore visiting.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I haven't seen a single person over there in months.
Oh.
You know.
But, I mean, I have to get out 2 days next week and do some doctoring stuff, go to doctor, go get blood work, go to doctor. The end of the week, Monday, I go do the draw, but I could stay in my house, y'all, a month. And except I don't have a very big mailbox, so I'd have to go across the parking lot and get my mail every 2, 3, 4 days, which is mainly junk mail anyway. But y'all, I could not go. I could stay in my house and not go nowhere. I got everything I need. I can order Walmart plus groceries.
Well, yeah, I've got Temu coming, and I'll do a unsacking whenever it comes.
Well,
Maybe hopefully tomorrow. It's about time for it to come. I've got 3 different ones coming.
The last thing I'll say is I usually will order Temu when I get my order in. Well, I got my order in last week, and it wasn't very. I mean, I finished up my dollhouse buying stuff I wanted, and so I'm not ordering anymore for a while. I'm just going to lean back because when I moved in December and you introduced me to it, I had to go ahead and order kitchen stuff. I needed stuff, man. I had to build up, just normal stuff, like dish towels, washcloths, and stuff you take for granted when you live at somebody else's house that you don't need, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need, but now I'm sitting all right. Nana's doing pretty good. So, Oh Lord.
Well, good. And before I sign off, as usual, if you're seeing the show and if you're liking what you see, if you would please give us a thumbs up. All you got to do is just punch that button down there. That helps us get seen. If you would spread the word, tell people about the show, the Being Real show. If you're liking what we're doing, and we'll get some more people joining the channel, would be great. And
And
get this show, grow this show, get this show bigger, and
and
because we definitely.
hop over to Jake's channel and visit him. He's got some really good
That's the
interviews.
next thing I was going to ask Jake is what have you got coming up on Eye for Horror?
Not too much right now, but hit a dry spell. But I got something coming up, but I can't really go into specifics.
That's okay. You don't know till you iron out all the details. But
Well,
he's got some.
have you done something recent, like interviews or something like that you'd want to promote?
Yeah. Actually, I don't know what I'm waiting for. My Hal Havens interview, Stooge from Night of the Demons. I need to post that.
Oh, cool.
Cool. Yeah, I can't wait. I've watched every one now. Yes, I have. Of your interviews are so good. And then of course, you had a star-studded group of people on your
Yes, that was
show the other night. Okay, I was on it. I'm just being silly. But no, it really was fun. It really was a fun conversation we had.
But yeah, I want to tell people that are watching the show to go and join his channel, Eye for Horror. He gets interviews, some really cool interviews with the stars of horror movies and such. Well, you said Night of the Demons. You got who's that from Night of the Demons?
Hal Havens.
Hal Havens.
Oh yeah.
Man, he really Jake, goes out there and gets these great interviews, and he's really good at it. So yeah, join his channel, Eye for Horror, and like I say, you give us a thumbs up and spread the word about Being Real, and we'll see you guys again soon. Think good thoughts. Send good thoughts my way that I don't get washed away from Hurricane Barrel Tuesday and Wednesday. Because I think after that, it's supposed to start clearing up again.
Yeah, smooth.
But that's kind of on the edge of my seat about that. Tuesday and Wednesday is supposed to be the day it could get pretty rough over here. So, but okay, guys, thank you, Kathy and Jake. And we'll do this again soon. Like I said, I'm not sure what our subject will be. Maybe we'll do the next music one. Maybe the next one. I'm kind of leaning in that direction.
Well, I got some 70s 4 disc set that I just got in, so I can talk some that y'all never heard of. Well, have fun, y'all.
Okay, sis, Jake, and everybody, thank you for tuning in, and we will see y'all again soon. And y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.